Hello again, welcome back to another daily Binding of Isaac Repentance. Okay. I can't remember we won or lost last run. It's a Wednesday night, baby. Polyom Boss Rush, the beast. No. 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 Zeus of the Lamb, okay. I mean, we've already just did the beast. Oh, we did win, that's right. We're playing as Samson earlier. So Azazel, the Lamb, huh? Is that all? Seed here is WDF9 1GHS. Yeah, so it's it's Wednesday night. How about that? I gotta eat still, like finish eating. I feel like eating is kind of a chore for me because I eat so much food. Like it takes a long time for me to eat everything that I need to eat. 4,300 calories is a lot of food, especially if they're not carbs. Not carbs, you know what I mean. It's not a bunch of carbs in it. So yeah, there's that, I guess. Lever's card, whatever. Yep, so I noticed today, I actually have been noticing for a bit, the weather's been getting really cool. Like today's been pretty cool out, like in the 70s or something. I'm like, yep, we're getting there. We're getting the fall weather early. Things are starting to dip down. We're not going to have as many warm days and stuff. Pretty soon it's going to snow tomorrow. No, that's a little early. Though it has snowed on Halloween before. We're not too far off of Halloween either. Of course, at that winter at the time, it wasn't as bad as what it was this year, earlier in the year. With this drought and stuff, I kind of wonder if we're going to have much of a winter or not this year. I mean, things could probably just turn around. Farmer's Almanac came out recently predicting that the winter supposedly isn't going to be as bad or something like that. We're not going to have as many cold days or something. Oh no, it's supposed to be colder than usual or something. But it's not going to be like Arctic freezes as much. I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. It's just a prediction system. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, it's going to cover the whole winter. That's a big stretch for that. I like to have a nice dry winter, which is not going to happen. Because those dry winters are extremely rare around here. So bad last winter, like some of the buses were getting stuck on the roads. Like, people had to get out and walk. I'm like, jeez. I was talking to someone that walks like at least like a couple miles, or probably more than a couple miles to work. And like they're working the night of like the freezing weather. I think we should just go down here just for fun. I don't know what I wasted that for. I was thinking that was a fly generator. And anyways, well, she didn't keep the job long, so I assume maybe she just gave up because there was just so much of a walk or something. I don't know, but she disappeared pretty quickly. I don't think it had anything to do with like freezing to death or anything. Otherwise, that would have made news. I would have heard about it. There would have been obvious signs. Interesting here. I think we keep the Doctor's Remote because we do get a Brimstone thing, and that could be pretty useful for boss fights. There's some dips. I dug out like 8 cars during the winter. That was a mess. People were like very insistent. I was like, hey, I want to, I say we don't peek in that because we don't gonna have the house. Even if there's something in there we want. It's like, oh, I want to park in the spot that I paid for. And I keep trying to, you know, be persistent with them. Like, listen, if you try to, you know, get your low-riding car in there, you know, further down the block, which is covered in, you know, a layer of ice and snow. It was becoming from slick conditions. Ooh, that's really good. It's going from slick conditions to like frozen conditions, because like it turns from liquid to ice pretty quickly in the snow too. Things are starting to freeze too, and they're like, "Oh, no, I want to park over there." It's like, no. I convinced most of them to park downtown because that's what I was hearing about earlier that night. Yeah, just park downtown at the parking garage. It's not that expensive and stuff, and it keeps your car, you know, secured. Yeah, it's kind of a walk home, but whatever. I mean, it wasn't really that far from this either. And I remember like helping this one guy who had his van stuck. And there was no way in hell I could dig him out. Like I tried, like I couldn't. There's so many problems. Like, there's not much momentum. It's a heavy freaking thing. You gotta have a hell of a clearing before you can like gain enough momentum to get out of it. And even if I could get him out of there, he was being very persistent with, oh, well, I got a parking spot right next to my apartment. And I don't want to, I want to drive all the way up there, which is like practically going up this long street, followed by going into this alley, which has kind of like an incline. And I tell him, I was like, listen, you're better off just kind of staying put since you're kind of on the side street here. He's like, just kind of disagreeing with me. I was like, okay, well. He did call it a tow truck, so he wasn't completely deserted. Like, worst case scenario, he might have, like, got a ticket or something, which he could probably pretty easily challenge. Due to the roads being, like, almost completely covered with stuff. It took, like, a very long time to, like, process all that through. That's luck down. Darn it. Sometimes people have this kind of thing going on where it's like, oh, that's okay, it's that fire. Has this idea where it's like, oh, I paid for this spot. I don't want to like just let it go to waste. Which is true. You don't want to just want to buy a spot. I don't like this room, by the way. But, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't buy a... Oh, God. I thought that would have killed me. Hey. Hey, he gives us, like, 2 soul hearts. That's not bad. I like that. I'm gonna go down to the next floor. Actually, did I? Yeah, I found the item room. That's right. It was... It's kind of weird. We're gonna have 2 forms of brimstone. Yeah, so like, it's nuts. Like for me, like I remember seeing someone paid a spot, And it was worth, usually these spots, they can, depending on how close you are downtown and stuff, it's like, it can be as much as like $2,000 or more, you know. So this particular spot, I seen someone purchase years ago. It costs about like $1,600 a year, which I guess isn't too bad if you think about it, because that's like, you know, you calculate how much that it would be to a whole calendar year, which they're not really there for a whole calendar year. It's like this whole contract based. But someone purchased a spot for about, you know, $1,400 to $1,600. And I kid you not, they didn't park a car there, but they parked a scooter that's worth less than the parking spot. I'm like, why? It's like convenience. Like, I do see people around driving these scooter things around town and stuff like that. Highly dangerous too. I would not be caught dead driving one of those. Or a bicycle. There's too many people coming out and stuff like that. Like, I don't know where they're driving, and people are kind of nuts, and you know, I don't want to get hit by a drunk driver. Just a bunch of stuff. There's too many risks. Because the city, they kind of force you to get on the road if you're riding a bicycle. You have some occasions where you do have some bike trails and stuff. But the thing with bike trails is, whoops, like they're okay, but I mean I use a bike trail to walk, believe it or not. So like, it's kind of nice. My hometown, there was a lot less of, you know, friendly walking, you know, places. Not just because like the neighborhood or stuff like that, but it's more on the lines of like there aren't enough sidewalks and stuff. Like, I've walked in the grass and all sorts of weird places just to get from one end of the town to another, shoulder of roads and stuff like that. It's weird. Like, and then, you know, transitioning into here, it's like, not really an issue. And when I tell people, like, when I was in that town, you know, visiting or something, I would walk like about 4.5 miles from one end of the town to the other. And I go to like the grocery store, like Walmart or something. It's like, oh, hey, I walked here from here. It's like, you walked here from there? Which is unheard of for that town, because it's like, it's mostly made up from like old folks and stuff like that. Middle-aged folk. And so like, normally people got vehicles, or they took a bus or something. Me, I just walked. And it's like, I remember one time I was walking back, I was carrying like this huge thing of stainless steel cookware stuff I got from Walmart. And somebody drives by me, asked me if I wanted to ride, which is just, it's kind of a small town thing. To some degree that they do, some people do. Of course, for me, I don't trust anybody giving me a ride anywhere. Like, people have been kidnapped and dead and stuff. I mean, the guy could have potentially had good intentions or something. Don't get me wrong, but it's not for me to really know exactly whether he's like got those good intentions or he's gonna eat me. I had one person one time. I was walking somewhere, and he was trying to give me some kind of a story and something about like taking me. He'd be willing to take me to Walmart or whatever to buy me cigarettes. And I was like, no. And then like the weirdest thing happens is like, F you, and then he like takes off. I was assuming the guy was trying to like rob me a gun. He's going to plan to rob me in a car or something, take me somewhere. And it didn't work, so he's like irritated and he's like, F you. Like, I didn't even say I smoke or anything. He just assumed I'm a smoker. I'm like, excuse me? People like that, man, you gotta be watching out. Like, he had a new card too and everything. Which kind of was a red flag. This guy in it, and like, so it doesn't seem to sit right. A new car. You can tell it's a new car because it's got the stickers or something in the back. He could have stolen it or something, who knows. Screw that, man. Oh, back so you can keep your money. I don't need cigarettes. I never smoked in my life. I call it an insult for an assistant such a thing, boy. Coupon, huh? Nah. Beat the juice out of them. Oh my god. Could have some potential goodness for us. But you'd be surprised though, some people... Oh. Wait a minute. Oh, I knew it. See, I popped the wrong stupid thing. The foot... It's like, wait a minute, where's the foot coming in? Yep. I was thinking, I was just too distracted here. Just, frick off, mommy. Heck, I was taught, you know, when I was a kid, not to ride with strangers and anything like that. Hitchhike. Also, all these soul hearts. These stats. Oh. These hush flies. Oh, hushy flies. Hey. Oh, you're still coming down, huh? Oh, thank you for that. I don't know what that does. I should go back and look. Instead of key pieces, see, I thought that was a glitch that I thought it was patched. I had that, that's actually pretty kick-ass. Like, that was a thing the whole time and I didn't know about it. Shit. Taking that. Look at that. We're getting stacked. Now, a thing I used to learn too when I was really little, railroad safety. I don't know if they still teach that or not anymore. It depends on the school, the funding and stuff like that. I don't know. Taught about like, oh, don't throw rocks at the trains. They'll put stuff on the train tracks and things like that. Oh, and don't get into like the box cars. They scared us straight, and that's for a reason. No, they're trying to prevent you from getting candy. No. Should have been using this in the first place. They sell us poisons. So they give us poison, so we take their cure or something like that. It's like a meme. I'm scared, mommy. I just realized something. We can play that that room in there. I'm gonna clear all this out first. Yeah, like I don't trust like anybody give me a ride anywhere like that, man. All these news stories about like people disappearing. Look at that, we got another charge. Oh, never mind. Well, there is boss rush. Let's see. Let's see if we get this for damage. Okay, here. No. What's that? That's better damage. Pop. We take pop. No, we're not letting you in. We're closed. I don't know what else to kind of teach in schools anymore for safety stuff. I imagine there's like a lot more things they're doing with kids with that kind of training. So here's my theory here. We take the statue down. That didn't work. Oh, a bunch of money, huh? I should have done that. Ooh. Alright, so the thing does seem good. Alright, there's... Oh, you little shit. Where is he? Is he gone? Little delirium, huh? So I guess if you have all the key pieces, then they drop additional items. Okay, I see. I see what's happening here. I think we do it one more time. Yeah, teleports. Okay. I'm assuming they got like COVID training for kids or something like that, to some degree. Oh yeah, wash your hands, haha. Even though it's like kind of basic stuff. Hey. Oh, that almost got me. World card, huh? You can use that for the next floor. Yeah, so like... then another thing I used to... I learned about I was growing up is, of course, you know, emergencies, you know, things with the bus, storm drills, fire drills, all that stuff. I remember reading this article from my hometown about a fire that happened at this apartment complex, and someone got killed. And so, like, fire department's like, yeah, the week before we found out that a couple of smoke detectors were missing. The fire extinguisher was missing too. And it's like, okay. Like, when I heard about the smoke detectors missing, I immediately thought about, like, it's probably somebody took them off so they can smoke. Took them out. I mean, no one's going to steal one and, like, sell it, because they're extremely cheap. So I ruled that out. In fact, my neighbor, earlier in the year, kept setting off the smoke alarm in the hallway until it eventually stopped, right? I mean, keep going off and on, off and on. And then it stops, and then I found out later on that they disconnected the hallway fire smoke detector. I'm pretty sure it was them because I could smell pot coming from their the room, which the chances are they probably disconnected it in that room. They were setting off in the hallway. I'm like, geez. Like, the whole point of a hallway smoke detector is like everybody's safety in the whole building, not for your convenience of disconnecting it so you could smoke pot and have it leak in the hallway. Like, why would it even begin in the hallway anyways? That's what I don't understand, because like whenever I set up my smoke detectors or something off and on, that's because like I'm cooking or something, but like it never like gets in the hallway. Maybe that's because it's closer to them than to me, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, you people out there who disconnect those things, that'll be the lesson to you. Like, something happens, then it's like somebody can die from it. Like in this case with this person in my hometown who was actually living upstairs when this happened. So it was the ones downstairs that were like mysteriously not there. So somebody downstairs got him disconnected. It had nothing to do with this lady. Before she even like reacted or anything, like it was too late. Like she couldn't get out or do anything. Fire already grown too crazy. I didn't mean to pop that card. Hey! Wafer. Look at that. I don't think I went to the sticker room yet here. And it sucks, because it's like... And then you got some people who are displaced too. And then they don't have the money, they didn't get any insurance. I need to get some fire insurance for my place, just in case. I didn't have any close calls or anything, but like, you want to have something there in case something like that ever happens. And tornado insurance, and because tornadoes have popped up in the area many years ago. So the off chance that it ever hits, like, I'm covered. And burglary. Off chance for burglary though. Fire seems like it's most likely culprit that could happen. Because not students, what do you call them? Tenants, that's right, not students, tenants. They typically, some tenants typically like just disconnected everything. I got the keys to the kingdom, I got it disconnected, ha. I'm a hacker. I got some goodies in here. I'm thinking we take this with us. We probably don't need it, but nice little security thing just in case. Yeah. I think for that city, they should have yearly inspections made by city officials to make sure that these things are kind of put up. Make sure that they stay up and all that. They also talk about too, some places there they hard line it in so that way they can't disconnect it. I think that's a good option too. At least for here, they replace the smoke detectors every 10 years, and they routinely do checks and everything, which is really nice. Of course, down there, it's probably be a lot of funding to have that kind of oversight. You know, funny thing is, since that fire, there hasn't been like any sort of city, you know, action, you know, like wake up calls to see how we can prevent something like this from happening again to somebody else. Which sucks because it's like, there's, you know, some tenants who were affected from the, actually all the tenants pretty much were affected from the fire that were still alive. They were displaced, so they don't have fire insurance. They don't have the money to get a deposit down because they're so, you know, poor in that town. And so, like, you know, it's going to the point where people are pleading for donations online, so. I don't know, this lady had like life insurance or something. Probably chances pretty slim. Supposedly the landlord, I'm gonna go down the hatch for fun. Oh, that's rare here. Supposedly a landlord being blamed for this, which I don't know much about the landlord. Maybe he had some stake in it. Who knows? Oh, I don't know. I guess I'll take this. Again, I really don't know. Maybe. Guy could join. Red stew, huh? Why not? Lever's card. I suppose we could take this into the fight. Yeah. The whole situation is just icky. Typically when people ask for donations in that town, like, a lot of people, I mean, most of the time people can't afford to give you any money because they're all struggling too. So you kind of leave it in this kind of issue with like donating. Sometimes you can't trust some people because of how, you know, some people got scammed and whatever. Use the funds for something else. I keep forgetting I got the wafer. I thought I was getting full hits here. My health. Fire safety. Of course, the article talked about too. It's like, oh yeah, you guys gotta have to have a plan and stuff like that in place. Not plan something out of, which, don't get me wrong, like, it's a good idea, but almost nobody really does that unless they're in a work environment or something. Or public school. That's the thing. Like, I don't even have much of a fire plan in place. I mean, I've got a couple access points, a window and a door, and a couple of exits. As opposed to this place, there's only like one exit for this lady. She could have jumped out of the window. She was like a floor up, so probably wouldn't have hurt her too bad. There's been a lot of fires in my hometown. A lot of fires. Abandoned buildings, buildings being worked on, houses, apartments. Oh, that's already taken care of, alright. It's crazy. Some of them were arson, some of them were like whatever was going on. I can't remember if they said it was suspicious or not for this recent one. Supposedly there's a rumor in town saying like, of course you gotta take these rumors with a grain of salt. And supposedly somebody did that on purpose. Yeah, it's, again, the kind of stuff gets kind of sketchy. Do you know what I mean here? Also, Book of Virtues is pretty good. So I'm just waiting until like something official comes out. Of course, there's that one time when that one fire happened to a commercial building a couple years ago. Actually, you know what? We could play this. That I believe it was on purpose for catching the building on fire for insurance purposes. Because the insurance company was trying to get some information from the public and nobody came forward, so they give them whatever. Had to give them the money. Earnest souls, huh? Not good enough. You think with all these angel items, they eventually come across to like Sacred Heart or something. Miter. I mean, that's more soul heart protection. That's Seraphim transformation, though. Holy Mantle, I mean, it's mostly defense stuff. I don't mind it, but, I've already been in there. Been in here. Yeah. Check your carbon monoxide alarms, aka your smoke detectors. Change your batteries every so often, you know. Of course, with stuff like that, with these kind of events happen in town, there's not like no change in anything really. Got all these arsons and stuff, and fires just happen. What do you do? Here,